Hi everybody, thank you so much and welcome back to the lift. We are out here for our stroll. Everyone, it's just so wonderful to connect with you again. You know how we like to start. If you have not made your wish, I would ask you to please do so. Go ahead, take a minute, make your wish. I am definitive. I've made mine. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I've definitely made my wish. Let's go ahead and get started today, everyone. This is an interesting message because I know sometimes the topics are a little bit more heavy hitting, but today is a little bit fun and lighter because I heard from a wonderful loyal supporter, Randall, and quite frankly it was just a breath. It was a breath of fresh air, and he shared in his note, you know, Sheila, I have absolutely been using my tools, fabulous. I feel like I'm really catching on to all this, you know, self-love, positivity. And I wrote him back, but I also want to share this video message as a tribute for Randall and quite frankly everyone else who is doing all this hard work out here. Six things you do when you've actually learned to love yourself. And if you think about it, isn't that some of the hardest work that we're here to do? I mean, if you take it at face value, it sounds so simple. Oh, you know, just love yourself, embrace yourself. But when you're actually doing that work, it can look and feel a lot different, especially depending on what you have gone through in the backdrop of your life. So I want to dive right in today and talk about some things, because sometimes we're going through all this marvelous and fantastic growth and it's like, you know what, I think I'm making the strides, I'm not sure. So this is just a little bit of a checklist for everyone. Six things that you do for yourself and oftentimes for others when you have truly hit that zone of self-love. So this is a celebratory video message today. Number one thing I want you to look for is you really embrace being alone. You know, think about something obviously other than yourself that you really love and adore. Why wouldn't you actually want to be alone with self? And you know, years ago when I was getting really deep into this work, and I shared the story with you before, this was after a terrible breakup. And it was a terrible breakup, but it turned out to be one of the best things that ever happened in my life. And after that relationship, I resolved, I said, you know what? I'm going to go as deep as I can into this journey of self-love, self-discovery. And I took a trip across the world, across a couple oceans by myself. And I will tell you, it was at the time frightening, but as soon as I arrived, as soon as I got to this destination, it was so gorgeous and liberating. And I think that was probably my first step into truly embracing this journey, this walk of self-love. So that's one thing, is, you know, how do you feel about being alone with yourself? To this very day, I take myself on outings, take myself to lunch, take myself to dinner. I have a blessed trip coming up. Gonna tour some museums, and I'm looking forward to that. I relish those moments. I love friends, companionship. Please don't misunderstand, don't get me wrong, but I also just love that downtime. Self-love is in the mix. The second piece I want you to look for when you've truly learned to love and embrace yourself, the next question is, am I extending love and kindness to other people? When you get right down to it, who and what other people experience in us, it's a reflection of how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the world. When I run into people who give me an attitude or there's these rough edges that used to really get a reaction from me, and now just quietly inside of myself, I say, you know what? On some level, deep down inside, I'm well aware of what is going on. This is a person that does not love him or herself. Because if you're not being kind to yourself, how are you expected to be kind and warm and loving to anyone else? So it's a desire to be more loving, more gentle, more kind to yourself, and to fully extend that vibration to others on your path, particularly those who come at you with a certain energy, because we know when that elevation, when that vibration is raised more and more, what do we know for sure? You know where I'm going with this. You know that stuff can just roll off your back like water off a duck's back and hurt people. So we want to extend that compassion, that grace, that dignity. I'm not suggesting that anyone position yourself where you are walked on, but I will say, when that self-love comes in and it's in so strong, there's just a core desire to connect, to reach out, and to extend that grace. And those of you who are in a similar zone, you know what I'm talking about. Third, this one is a revelation, and Randall, some of what you shared in your note, it just let me know you're right there. Number 3, going for what you want. Going for what you want. When you said, I'm going for the best, I want to feel alive, I have a new vitality, said, there you go. And you want that because you've recognized through deep connection with self-love, hand of God, you recognize that you are worthy of it. You recognize that you are worthy of it. When you really have done this work at the deepest levels, there comes a permission. I can not only go for what I want, but I can create a vision that will sustain me as I'm doing just that. I'm putting all those golden nuggets into my basket of life. I think a lot of what intimidates people, they hold back. I'm not going to go for my hopes, my dreams. They're holding back because of the negative self-talk. You know, when that core self-love is not there, there's always question marks behind everything. Can I do that? Am I really worthy of that? One of the tremendous byproducts as you grow in yourself and awareness and self-love, that voice, that powerful voice that says, you know what? I am, I can. It's not that you won't have shaky moments. It's just that that voice comes right up behind you with a powerful source of reassurance. This work that we talk about on this channel, it just comes back, it pays you back again and again in spades. So I'm going to recap. Number one, you're not afraid to be alone with yourself. Number two, that loving kindness is really generated from the inside out. You're loving and kind to others and you want to extend it. Number three, you're going after what you want. And number four, this one is critical as well. Learning to walk away gracefully and let others do the same. A little while ago, I had a situation where, well, it was two situations. One where I needed to walk away and move on, and the other, someone else walked away and moved on. The circumstances around it don't really matter. They're not relevant to this conversation we're having here. But what really matters is everything was done in grace, you guys. It's that smooth door that I talked to you about. Easy come, easy go. And it honestly has to be that way. And I'll tell you why. This is my humble opinion. My humble opinion, everyone here is under their own specific contract. And many times, actually all the time, we don't know what that contract is. What contract are they working out? Where do you appear in the fine print on their contract? Oftentimes there's a limited appearance. You have an expiration date within people's contracts. You see, there's an expiration date. And if you try to overstay what's in the fine print, it makes common sense here. What you're going to get your feelings hurt. I don't want anyone to get their feelings hurt. We are all here working through some of us have some very complex contracts. You don't know the terms and conditions of what people are getting worked out. So my philosophy, didn't always have this philosophy, used to be very painful when people needed to go or I needed to go. Now it's easy come, easy go. And I honor your journey and your contract. May you be blessed with it. May you fulfill it successfully and fully. So this is a sign of self-love. Because why? We're not reaching. We're no longer reaching and grasping. And this is who I say you need to be in my life. And you need to stick around regardless of how this looks and feels. See, we don't do that. Because that it's a high vibration of ease, joy, and glory and love. So you let them go. And hopefully they let you go with ease, joy, and glory. And you know what? Here's the deal, guys. Whatever is meant to be, I've seen this over and over again in my life. I used to be one of these people. You panic, you fret. I get it. Some things we want, some relationships we want. I understand that. Trust me, I understand that. But then you reach a point where you realize, woo, the almighty hand. If it's meant to be, it's going to be. You bless it and you set it free. And also, why would you ever want to be joined to anyone or anything that does not want to be a part of you? That's $1 million question to be answered, and it should be answered. Why would you ever want that for yourself? I don't know about you, but I want to be in harmony, in community, relation with people who are really delighted, excited, and have a joyful energy about my presence. Number 5. Oh boy, this is a big one. Number 5, as you really embrace and learn to love yourself, you're gaining mastery in this area. You're going to find that what you attract, what you're attracting to you, is so positive. You know, over these last 10 years or so, I marvel at the wonderful friends who've come into my life, just the high times, the excitement, the things that have gone on wonderfully in my career. There's no doubt in my mind that all of that is a byproduct of how I feel about myself and my purpose on this planet. So this is really powerful stuff. It's a collective vibration that is available to every single one of us. And all we need only do is stand up and raise your hand and say, you know what? I want some of that, some of that yummy and delicious vibration, and see what you attract. And I've worked with enough people over the years, and I'm so grateful that people stay in touch. They'll reach out to me and say, Sheila, you know, this wonderful person just found me. Sheila, you know, this situation just took my breath away in a positive way. It's because you attracted it. You attracted it by who and what you are. You pulled it in. And people say, oh, the law of attraction. It's really the law of what sticks to you. You know what I mean? As you learn to love yourself, it's the best comes to you because you're putting out the vibe for the best. And number six, this is a cute one, but I find it's true. When we shift, when that vibration shifts of self-love, we begin to compliment ourselves. We compliment ourselves positively without those question marks behind it. You know, and this is not, you know, complimenting yourself in front of people. This is not about being vain or anything like that, but it's little love taps, love notes for yourself. Like today I got up and said, woman, you are doing such a great job on this project, and such a great job as a mom, compassionate, warm human being, and just smiling. You know, even the positive affirmations, they used to feel so forced and uncomfortable, but now it's different. It's a culmination of this work, and the benefit is that natural flow of self-regard, love, and elevation. You know, the last thing that I want to share with all of you is these are just my observations from my sojourn. I just don't see how you can expect regard, warmth, that clarity coming in from other folks when you're not extending that to yourself, when you're not extending that to yourself in abundance. And if you're there, this video is a celebration for you. And if you're not, this video simply represents the hope. And to keep that hope and that passion alive in doing that work, and every single step you take toward yourself, toward deeper levels of awareness, know that God is taking multiple steps towards you. Also want to mention, you guys, down below, you're going to see the tools not talk. I'm constantly enrolling folks in those circles. So circles are opening up this spring. So wonderful accountability class and course We meet live, keeping you on track. So absolutely check that out. And if you're loving what I'm doing, don't forget to subscribe and share the news of the channel with your friends and family. I'll see you soon.